Hello everybody, my name is Zito and I'm happy to bring you another night of ESEA Advanced Season 33 action. And we're just going to hop straight into this one. It's going to be Third Impact versus Arial Rise. And honestly, looking back, I totally forgot that I am not the only person that's going to be covering this match. So I kind of feel goofy for doing it now, to be totally honest. But I'm still excited to cover this one, and I still feel like, even having known that, I still want to give this game a shot, or at least give it a look, because I feel like this could be an absolute banger of a match. Third Impact and Areola Rise, both hot off of 3-0 wins so far in the season and look to improve their record. Third Impact has kind of been stomping so far early on. Aerial Rise have had closer games, so I would have to personally give the edge to Third Impact, but I feel like this could be an absolute banger of one. Just keep in mind, Douglas has completely relegated his spot in apartments right now. The push happens very, very quickly from Ariel Rise. They drop trade players as they make their way onto the site, ends up favoring Ariel Rise. Most likely going to be able to get that bomb down as well, but rotates are going to be soon in as well. Gwag is trying to hold down Boiler position as two CT start coming up, firing shots. Gwag will be there. The firing range comes into effect, and he takes down both. It's going to be AGM, left alone 1-on-3. Last match, we saw him pull off some crazy pistol plays, but I'm not sure if we're going to be able to see that history repeat itself, and unfortunately, we will not. Gwag with a triple kill, or Gwag. I'm not exactly sure how to pronounce it, but he gets a nice triple to open things up for his team, and it's a pretty convincing round for them. I believe they only dropped 2 players in the swing of things, and they get off to a nice 1-0 start, able to put together a nice healthy economy. But Third Impact, they struggle a little bit harder here. They're kind of just going to force together everything they possibly can, and it's going to be coming in the form of upgrade pistols and a single MP9 in Dangerous' hands. Now pushing down mid, the Pistol Master himself, AGM, looks to peek and get a kill, but unfortunately only receives the damage he was trying to inflict. As that makes matters worse for Third Impact, considering they spent their last sum of money. Just go ahead and try to make this back in their favor, or at least try to cause some economic damage and not off to the hottest start that you could hope for. Ariel Rise are in no rush, though, to take this round. They have a lot of strong advantages, and there's still a little over a minute left to play with. Seems like B is going to try to be their final destination for the time being. They're going to throw in some shrapnel to greet the CTs, and around the corner, Dangerous will be forced to back up his position over towards B site. Rotate coming in through from T. Connors as well, but he only has a P250 to his name, and surely that's not going to be able to do the damage versus Aerial Rise, but maybe an MP9 will have better luck. He takes down Toad, the first man in, onto the A site, the B site. And the bomb is coming in as well, so this could actually be potentially lethal for Dangerous, but unfortunately it's not meant to be. The spam comes through and it's perfect. Every angle is taken care of, and all the players behind them are snuffed out. T. Connors with a little bit of complimentary spam through the smoke will aim to take down one player, but unfortunately not quite thread the needle on those shots. And he's stuck in a 1-on-4. Obviously impossible task, just considering what he's dealing with here. He might just choose to save his armor here. He has full armor and a P250. Ariel Rise. Maybe we'll siphon a gun. There it is. T. Connors, nice complimentary shot through, and Ariel Rise. They will go ahead and respond in kind. 2-0 for them. They don't seem to falter too much. So already off to a pretty good start, the T sides. But now, Third Impact, unfortunately, will be forced to save a third time around. Only Ariel Rise will, again, have no issue so far putting together the money they need for a nice full buy. All players on deck on the B-bomb site at the moment. They know that Ariel Rise, they seem to favor it on their last anti-eco. They're trying to outgame the T's at the moment, but unfortunately it's not a fruitful stack. They will go ahead and change their minds, change their decision as they make their way over to the A site now. Make that their home. But the Arise are nowhere to be seen. They're still holding default positions at the moment. Pretty thorough with their utility usage as well. They just really want to snuff out each and every one of these corners, trying to sniff out a stack of some sort. And they might learn the hard way. Alvin is just going to walk into a firing range of pistols and lose his life immediately. And when there's smoke, there's fire. Arial will rise. They realize it. Third Impact will be trying to go in all hands on deck towards the B site this time around, going back to their original destination. But Arise will be there, ready to greet them so far. And are they going to be ready for this absolute slugfest of duels here? The smoke for CT actually isn't that good. Luckily, a second one comes through, and that makes things a little bit better for them. And they're starting to get the kills that they need to secure this round down. It was looking scary for just a moment there. It looked like Third Impact had at least a good read on the scenario, but they can't quite get the kills to follow it up, or can they? They're actually getting them in a flurry of frags. It's now going to be down to a 1v1 at the end of things. JoJo versus Sensor. Sensor looking for a triple, and he does get it. But that was a little bit scary from Third Impact, considering how little they invested into that one. They got a lot of damage done onto the T side. The only silver lining for the T's is not only did they get the round together, but no CTs managed to save the guns that they dropped. And so because of that, it's going to be an even scenario as we head into round number 4. So, I mean, all things considered, not too bad from Third Impact. Arial Rise will also pick up a single AWP in the hands of Alvin, and AGM will also pick up a sniper for the CT squad. Default positions for the time being. They're not really committing any players down towards Banana, which allows Dangerous to pull out some aggressive spam with some grenade usage behind it. Looks like Alvin has actually gone ahead and watched for any crazy setups that the CTs are trying to pull out right now, but luckily for Arial Arise, nothing seems to be on the case, and a trade kill actually happens over towards apartments. JoJo tries to run away for his dear life. And we'll toss out a nice welcome mat, or maybe have second thoughts about it. Doesn't want to expend his utility just yet. He still feels like he might just get timing, caught off guard perhaps. And there we are. There's that Molotov that I was talking about. And that's going to go ahead and stunt the push for Arise for just a little while longer. There's a smoke coming through. It's about even for the time being, but this still has the potential to kind of have the floodgates open. The T's are making a lot of noise as they enter into the site, and it might be the perfect pickings for JoJo here. He sprays down, only gets one. It's JoJo left to say, or excuse me, it's AGM to save the day with a second one on Toad, who could have had the chance to completely spoil the party for Third Impact. Now, Third Impact, fortunately, just really don't seem to be winning these duels in very convincing fashions, but it will be down to 1v1 at the end of things. Alvin, this time picked up a rifle, knows exactly where T. Connors is going to be waiting. T. Connors, good nade through, but it's not exactly enough to get all the damage, but the M4 will do the job just fine. And that will be a first round on the board for Third Impact, much needed. And also the op retrieved as well, and things are looking up for Third Impact at the moment. The silver lining here for the T's is that they did manage to get that bomb down, so their buy is going to be a little bit healthier. That being said, I think they're only going to opt for upgraded pistols. I don't see a reason for them to try to invest AKs into this one, and they seem to echo my beliefs as well. Alvin with a single grenade in hand. AGM, is he actually looking to peek down mid here? Has a perfect shot on Mexico. How the hell did he get Sensor there? That didn't even look like it connected on anything. One hell of a shot. Makes the deal even sweeter for Third Impact as they look to go ahead and try to even up the scoreline a little bit more. The T's will stack up over towards mid. And are they going for a run boost here? This could be kind of fun. Okay, well, doesn't exactly net anything, but they get top mid pretty securely. And speaking of secure, check out the setup from Third Impact. They're all hands on deck at the moment. 3 players, soon to be 4. T. Connor's ready to join the picture. Bomb still has yet to be retrieved, though, and it will soon enough. But Arial Arise, now that they have a little bit more time to play with, a little bit of map control over towards mid, maybe they'll decide to take it over towards B. That seems to be on the menu for tonight here. Dangerous is going to go ahead, toss down a smoke to try to stop the push in its tracks before it gets too worse. Arial Rise well respected for the time being. Toad tosses a few shots over towards the library, trying to take down AGM, whose gun is peeking the corner. JoJo is ready to have his teammates back in case things go south, and Toad isn't checking for it. JoJo gets the first, not the second, though. Luckily, the crossfires are perfect from third impact, as each member on the A site does their job perfectly fine and gets all the kills they need to net them a second round win. And also a very convincing fashion. That eco round didn't seem to work out in Arial Rise's favor whatsoever. They didn't get any of the duels they needed, even though Toad had a really good shot at it with that deagle towards AGM, but unfortunately the angles weren't quite there. Another round and another shot to go ahead and extend this round lead that they have at the moment. A double setup over towards top banana at the moment for third impact, with AGM leading the charge with an AWP. It's kind of risky, but it might just work out for them. First shot comes through. Trade as well. Dangerous is able to get one, so it does end up being a net benefit for third impact at the moment, and there's still another teammate waiting them on the B site, but the A site is where all the action is going to happen. Apparently, Toad with a double entry. Much better look from that deagle misplay, or not that misplay, that unfortunate deagle situation that we saw last round. With an AK, he doesn't seem to struggle whatsoever, and it gets them the kills that they need. Crack open that site and get the bomb down. Because of that, this is a near impossible situation for third impact at the moment, as they seem to just want to be retreating. Their money isn't exactly in the healthiest state in the world. I believe they're going to be getting $1,900 on top of this. It's going to be enough to scrounge together a buy, but it's not going to be the prettiest. Arial Rise, however, thanks to the wonderful plays of Toad, will go ahead and get themselves that fourth round on the T side of Inferno. Not a bad look for them at the moment. Toad is even going to get away with his AK, get away with murder. Practically all of his teammates are bleeding internally, though. Luckily, third impact are nowhere to be seen, and well, aren't able to capitalize on all that damage that the bomb did that they couldn't. And, well, because of that, third impact, again, as I mentioned before, because they managed to save a couple of guns heading into this next round, they're going to be able to piece together another buy. It's not going to be the healthiest one in the world, but it's going to be good enough for them. AGM has made his way over towards B yet again, peeking down banana a lot more aggressively than he was in the past. But unfortunately, it nets them nothing. That way, his teammates on the A site will choose to play a little more passive, considering they have no idea where Arial Rise could be at the moment. AGM, now all by his lonesome over towards B, has a huge bounty on his head at the moment, and he peeks it, nearly loses his head as well. He wants to go for seconds. Unfortunately, the wallbang lineup isn't quite there. Alvin has ducked out of danger. Arial Rise have a good amount of map control at the moment. Apps almost seized entirely at this point. Smoke comes through as well from Hate. 4 players over from third impact, and again, AGM is still all by his lonesome, but this might be the perfect read from third impact at the moment. They seem to be in a secure location. JoJo's going to be boosted on top of Porch, and this just might be lethal for the T side here. Guag is still not located where his teammate is, and unfortunately, they'll learn the hard way. A flurry of blue in the kill feed, and Sensor is going to be the only one left alive, the only one to add a little bit of a yellow streak in that one. He's going to continue it. A nice double shot onto Douglas to go ahead and make things a little bit more manageable. If he can divide this into 2 1v1s, I think he might have a good shot at it, but AGM is primed on his location and will not falter whatsoever. A good shot from him. Time was not in his favor, and nor were the players. Third impact get up on 3. And this is where the real struggle comes in. Third impact, because they won that round, kind of leave Arial Rise stumbling a little bit. They don't exactly have a ton of money. They theoretically could force us if they wanted to, but it just might be upgrade pistols yet again. I feel like economy has this really been the name of the game early on Inferno. Hey Vix, what's up? How you doing? Tactical pause comes through. Both teams just going to talk about things for the time being, because Arial Rise, they're getting close to some really good moments, but just kind of stumble away at the last possible second. But again, they will not falter. Third impact, stuck on a just pretty dismal buy. Only a single deagle, 3 flashes across 2 players, and, well, there's only 4 players to speak of now. It seems a nice little complimentary grenade as well. It's perfect damage onto Hate as they try to begin this rush in a CT wrap, but it's something Douglas will be able to take care of almost entirely. He finds 2, looks for 3, and does get it indeed. The M4 is doing work at the moment. An aerial uprise. Another round where they're left stumbling. You get what you pay for, I suppose, because they didn't exactly have the money to make this round convincing. Guang is left with a Glock, excuse me. And what do you even do at this point? No one in third impact has taken almost any points of damage whatsoever. AGM has taken 1. Is Guang just playing safe here? It looks like he's just trying to look for a couple of exit kills. Knows that he might be chased, because Guag has been kind of a question mark in the server at the moment. They don't know third impact if Guag has bought just yet, so they might want to go ahead and try to chase down the gun. They have a little bit more of a buffer. Bomb is down. It's obviously an impossible task from Arial Arise, but I'm just curious, at what point does Guag want to go for some entry kills? Because saving a Glock probably isn't in your best interest. And it looks like he realizes it as well. Not much time. He's just going to be going knives out over towards mid. If he theoretically could just get a gun out of the hand. But they'll kill him before that becomes a reality. A quad kill for Douglas in the round. Makes it a nice even 4-4 scoreline. Not a bad look whatsoever. It's all evened up early on Inferno. AGM. Still AWP in hand, and Arial are unfortunately still unable to get the buy that they are hoping for together. It's going to be a little better this time around. A little bit more utility and a little more pistol action, but still not exactly convincing enough to get them around. And they realize it as well, but they're going to go ahead, try to work with what they got. Through Banana they go, and into a Molotov they go as well. A healthy amount of damage comes through. T. Connors manages to get 2 before he falls as well. But a rush of Deagles comes through, and Douglas now needs to hold the ground, wait for his teammates to come in. But luckily, he does not falter at all. The shots are perfect as he manages to stay alive. Good flash as well. Sensor is the last one left alive. AK in hand. A near impossible task again. But that's all that we've been seeing so far. I sound like a broken record, but it hasn't exactly been the easiest rounds for Arial Rise. The ones they've lost seem to have been in pretty devastating fashion, so at least for the T's, their economy is about the same. But not a lot of damage is being done to third impact. This can really start piling up in a little while. AGM will still choose not to buy head armor, and that's exactly the right case for this sort of scenario, because Arial will choose to buy up everything they possibly can. The T's now have plenty of AKs, plenty of utility, and a single AWP in Alvin's hand at the moment. So head armor doesn't even matter. Go ahead and save the money. The rest of the teammates, though, have survived the scare. Have survived the past couple of rounds, so they're just going to go ahead and inherit that head armor into this one. And Arias are now currently trying to take apartment control at the moment, and it's going to be looking good for them so far. Off to a good start. Toad, though he's down to 10 HP, has managed to net a kill for his trouble. A flash out over towards Boiler as well. And the T's now look to take mid this time. Jojo from on top porch into Boiler. The switch up doesn't seem to catch the T's off guard, but that shot from AGM sure as hell will. He gets a double. Could have been a triple theoretically, but unfortunately it's not meant to be. But Douglas is still very much in the picture, and he can't take him out of an equation like this because he's never going to miss with his shots apparently. Gets a double before he falls, and that gives so much wiggle room to third impact now to go ahead and close out this round. It's going to be Dangerous and T. Connors versus Sensor, and these are the 2 players I would want to have on third impact left in a scenario like this. This is going to be such a tough ask from Sensor. But maybe he'll be up to the challenge. He finds the first shot and gets the second one as well. I didn't think it was going to be possible. How did he not get traded out? What a miraculous round from Sensor as he puts together the clutch and gets Arial Arise Another round on the board, and we're back to an even game, 5-5 now. And they're looking good off of that one. Third impact. I said that the players that I wanted to be in a scenario like that are left alive, but unfortunately, they didn't seem to agree with me. An unfortunate way to lose a 2 versus 1, but they don't hiccup. They'll hold their breath and get the shot they need. Down towards Banana, AGM strikes first blood in round number 11. And it's off to a perfect start for Arial Rise now. 2 players committed over towards B. AGM has now decided to join the party over at the A site. But he might be having second thoughts about it. Looks like he wants to rotate maybe over towards B in case any contacts is made from the T side. Flash comes through. Toad. Looks like he's going to be leading the charge with a bomb, and this is going to tell so much information for third impact if they do manage to take down Toad. Surely he has to realize this and maybe toss the bomb over to his teammates. Boost on top of the smoke. Alvin searches for a player. T. Connors will not give up his head just yet. And so the slow game continues from Arial Rise. But they're going to soon up the pace, up the ante for the time being. Dangerous, stuck in the flower pot position, is able to find 2. Not a 4th, unfortunately, but he's good for 3. Another, such a tough scenario for Sensor to be in, and he's not able to pull off the miracle that we saw a couple of rounds back. He'll fall just as quickly as the rest of his team did. Third impact take back the lead. Despite all the action happening quickly, it wasn't as bloody for third impact. Not nearly. They only dropped 2 guns in the midst of things. And they're looking good at the moment. Shot from AGM doesn't quite hit on mark. Jojo also choose not to take that fight for the time being. AGM doesn't care about these pistols whatsoever. Takes down Sensor. He's been a pain in the side of Arial right so far. How the hell does he just get away with these shots? AGM, he has not let off the brakes at all. I was not expecting him to get these triples, but apparently you can just never doubt this man with a sniper in hand. Ecos, whatever. I said he was being a pain in the side, but that is just something else. He gets a triple for the round, and it's one of those, it's just unbelievable. Kind of lost for words on that one. Gets a nice little highlight play to add to his entry. But now his next challenge will lie in the AKs that he has to go up against. He's done farming the eco kills that the T's have brought to the table. This time the big boy guns have been brought to the dinner table. And they're eating good. AGM, although he flashes out, chooses to repeat the position, and the shots are perfectly on mark. I just have to go ahead and keep the cam on AGM at the moment because he doesn't seem to be having any sort of hiccups in his play. It's another 4-on-5. Arial Arise are in just such a rough spot at the moment. And they might be on the brink of giving up round number 8 to third impact at the moment. Feels like a matter of time. No map control really to speak of. They don't even have apartments. Hate will change that though. Make his way. Scouting out the location for some rent. The third impact. Look to evict them. Jojo doing his best landlord impression. Spots but chooses back up. Doesn't want to take this fight because he knows when there's smokes, there's fires. Smoke comes through. For that porch side, Jojo expecting a wrap, excuse me. Doesn't come through just yet. Luckily, though, third impacts have plenty of players to watch in case anything goes south. Douglas as well will be there in the picture. Douglas. Flash out, but unfortunately, Jojo, his teammate, isn't able to get the kills. Douglas is just staying alive in pit at the moment. Sits down a one-way, now looks over towards Graveyard in case anything goes wrong. Still in the picture is AGM, though, and you can never count this man out because it doesn't seem like the T's even realize he's here. He's going to be able to find one, maybe a second here if Sensor dares peek into his crosshairs. Those disgusting black crosshairs have given it so many kills, and this is no exception. Finally, someone else on the team will step up to the plate, and it will be a triple kill for AGM. It's a massive one, but surely it's the end of the line for Arial Arise. through the fire and the flames, they carry on. Third Impact. They make it round number 8. They've officially won the half, and they look to now extend their lead even further. It was back and forth for a lot of this half. Don't get me wrong, but it feels like in the past couple of rounds, Third Impact have really started to pull through. And, I mean, really put on such a strong performance on Inferno. T-Connors and Dangerous, no AGM this time around as the two look to make B their home. Quick play from Third Impact, from Arial Arise though, as they just quickly make their way up towards mid. Just a bunch of kills come through, and it's not exactly the prettiest situation as blood splatters the walls of the arch side, and it's quick cleanup for Third Impact, and that was a very quick one. 1:20 left on the clock still as the round ended. Barely gave me time to even think about anything. Arial, unfortunately, their ecos have not really caused many problems or threw any wrenches in the plans of Third Impact. But they're going to have another gun round to give the T side one more shot, but unfortunately just all seems to be going down the same way. AGM has just had free reign over mid. He even peeks out towards 2 players and manages to get away nearly unscathed. He's down to 72 HP, but I mean, you're going against AKs and Kriegs. Does that really matter much? AGM is feeling it, Bruce says in chat, and how can he disagree? I mean, he is just hitting everything, it feels like. 3 players set up on A in case AGM can't put on the carry performance that he's been doing so far, but it's kind of a foolish task to doubt him at the moment. Next challenge will arise in the form of Sensor, but he even will still get, he still will get a tag on Sensor. Unfortunately, can't quite finish the job, and he goes for seconds, but unfortunately, he's full. Not going to be able to do anything. It's Douglas who actually chimes in for a couple of kills of his own. Jumps through his own smoke and gets a triple now. This is massive from Douglas. It doesn't seem to be the AGM show only, because there's also Douglas in the picture. A triple for him and a 10-5 scoreline for Third Impact, and they have all the keys they need to close out this game right here, right now. Because Arial Arise, despite all the good things heading into this game, can't quite seem to up the pace that Third Impact are bringing to the game at the moment. They double the score of Arial Rise off the back of an incredible play by AGM. It's really hard to underestimate and to understate how crazy of a performance he's been having. Just for reference, AGM is currently 21-8 with 118.2 ADR, and Douglas is not far behind, 16-7 at 111. The A bomb site has seen a lot of bloodshed, and Third Impact have had absolutely no trouble with it. Now it's going to be their turn on the aggressor side, and Arial Rise. They look to make up for all the trouble they've had. Going to be given plenty of shots, plenty of opportunities at this one, but it all begins on a pistol. Hate backs up quickly into pit, and Alvin over towards site. 3 players of Arial Rise are actually pushing down towards mid at the moment. Luckily, Third Impact won't choose to overstay their welcome. A smoke comes through. AGM, the master of pistols, the master of puppets, doesn't seem to struggle whatsoever with these duels, or maybe he does. The rest of his team also takes a couple of blows, and it's a 2 versus 2, so it can't exactly be certain which team will come out on top of this one, but this next kill will decide all, it feels like. T-Connors takes a few pot shots on the players coming up over towards porch side. They both know, they know where both the CTs are located at the moment. Now it's a matter of lining up the shots, which they have no problem of doing whatsoever. Toad is struggling. He has 3 HP to his name, and is going to have to pull off a clutch of a century. But unfortunately, this is not that 1 in a million chance. 5-11, and Third Impact continue the amazing headlines that they've been having so far. And is that a Negev that I just saw bought up from Gwag? I think that's a Negev that I just saw bought up from Gwag. Or Gwag. I really don't know. I'm going to say Gwag. Or Gwag. I think Gwag, that sounds right. Anyway, Negev brought to the table. He's just going to be holding close apartments here. A little bit of spam comes through from third impact from, I believe it's T. Connors. Standard eco setup from Arial. They don't seem to be wanting to go for a stack of any sort. A little bit of aggression over towards apartments, but that's about it when it comes to risky behavior from the CT squad. But third impact, they have absolutely no reason to rush in. They realize it as well. Even when they do rush, they'll get the kills they need. The man with a Mag 7 sensor, the man who pulled off that crazy clutch a bit earlier, unfortunately has fallen. And so have the chances of the CTs managing to pull out a win out of this one. Things just don't seem to be looking up for the CTs at the moment, but it can all change with a single deagle shot. Unfortunately, he struggles a bit, but does convert it into a kill. Third impact have sustained a little bit of damage, so it's not the end of the world for them. And Gwag with a Negev is either going to pull off a performance of a lifetime or exactly why you don't choose the Negev. Surprisingly, he does manage to take down Dangerous, but at what cost? The bomb goes down, and it's a 3-on-3. This does definitely favor third impact at the moment, and it's because of things like that. They have that weaponry advantage to such a massive degree, plus no kits to speak of. Actually, excuse me, they do have a kit. It's in Alvin's hands at the moment, but I mean, that's a lot of money that he has on his pockets at the moment. Why give it up? Gwag has actually found 2 with the Negev. That's kind of surprising to me. Can he make it 3? That would actually just make me so happy. You don't often see the LMG brought to the table, but apparently it's good enough for 2 kills. On a Nico, not too bad. Definitely better than what I was expecting. I can tell you that. Third impact. However, don't seem to struggle. Pick up another round. They do siphon 3 bodies, sure, but when you have such a massive buffer like this, does it really matter? And kind of a strange setup. You see 4 players are going to be playing over towards A at the moment. Gwag, again, the man with the Negev, is just going to be solo B at the moment. Eats a little bit of grenade damage, and, well, that just kind of sucks. It's not the end of the world. It's not going to make or break a round, sure, but doesn't exactly make the deal sweeter for you either. However, a player going down like Kate doesn't exactly bode well for the CTs at the moment. Toad nearly loses his life as well, but chooses not to go ahead and add it to the chopping block. And this is such a perfectly executed default at the moment from third impact. They're just kind of prodding towards either site at the moment. Jojo is kind of tucked in a corner. He's going to be giving out a lot of information to his team that, hey, I think B is clear for the most part, and they'll quickly make their way over. I think Arial or Rise have started to realize it as well. They'll rotate a couple of players over, and Gwag, surprisingly, with Negev, is able to pull off 1 kill here. However, that's where the Negev being the Negev comes into play. It's kind of easier to counterplay after you get 1 kill, and you can just kind of pre-fire the angle, because you know exactly where the tracers are coming from. Boost on top of flower pots here. Easily read and easily taken care of from third impact. Dangerous with a triple in that round. Not only did he get that entry onto Gwag, who had the Negev, but he also gets a nice follow-up as well, protecting the bomb planter and getting third impact to that ever-elusive 13. Closer and closer to the finish line. Third impact, they're on the verge of improving to 4-0 in ESEA Advanced Season 13. Flashes come through, but no mid-aggression to speak of from Arial Rise. A little bit of complementary grenade damage as well, but unfortunately that util is all for naught. Standard default from both sides here, but third impact definitely just are kind of playing with the timer at the moment. They've already made their way up towards Arch side, and they're still well over a minute to play with. What is that smoke from AGM? I kind of like it. I haven't seen it before. It's a simple enough lineup, but it goes ahead and gives them so much information that Toad is waiting, or was waiting in library. He's unfortunately lost his life now. And now only 2 players remaining on the A bomb site, one of which finds a kill, and Center, unfortunately, isn't watching his teammates back, and it leads into death and destruction. Oh, it's just a nightmare for Arial Rise. And just when it seemed to be looking up for Arial, it's just all taken away in a moment's notice. The bomb is brought quickly over to the A-bomb site. And it's a done deal. The CTs now have to go up against the disgusting scoreline of 5-14. As they give up another, unfortunately, the crossfire on the A site just really wasn't there. And well, the backs aren't watched, and they're able to come up very quickly and very pleasantly. They don't seem to have any struggle with it whatsoever to come up over towards Arch side. However, chasing for these frags actually might prove to be a little bit costly for a third impact at the moment if they keep up this kind of shenanigans. They've already dropped one player. Alvin nearly gets a second. Oh my lord, that's so unfortunate. Luckily, Hate finishes the job that Alvin couldn't. Yeah, it's a couple of guns given up, but not really much to speak of at the end of things. Third impact up on 14. They have such a massive round and money buffer as well that even if they all, went up in flames there, they still weren't in that much of a pickle. Arial will go ahead and force up everything they can. Or excuse me, just choose to go for some upgrade pistols. It's not the prettiest buy in the world, and they're starting to really feel the pain at the moment. Or are they? Hello there. What was that from Toad? He actually managed to find two. Unfortunately, as soon as they switch over, he gets snuffed out. So no more highlight for him. But Arial Arise surprisingly do have the lead early on in this round. They look poised to take their sixth that they possibly can, but Third Impact have been so good at taking care of everything that they have ever hoped for. It just might not be on the cards. Hate with another deagle shot. Hates to be in this sort of situation. It's a 2-on-3, but I still do have to kind of give the edge to Third Impact at the moment. Sensor is retrieved at AWP, excuse me. Perfect shot through from Dangerous puts things right back in an even scenario, though. And T. Connors, he's just so damn good with that rifle. One tap Sensor out of the picture immediately. AWP is dropped, and Gwag, oh, is he actually just going to go for this defuse? No, he isn't. He didn't have a shot at it whatsoever. The only shots that come through are from Third Impact, and they end up leading them to their 15th round. And it's starting to look like a blowout at the moment. The CTs, pressed for money, are going to put together everything they can for one last hurrah. But they're going to need to seriously step up. It's going to have to be quite an insane comeback. And it doesn't seem to be on the cards at the moment. One kill quickly comes through. Despite the welcome mat and a Molotov, they just don't get the kills that they need otherwise. A ton of damage sustained. Don't get me wrong. Third Impact are not out of the woods just yet. But they do have the man advantage, and that is so massive, and it becomes even more massive when AGM picks up another one on the Sensor. The two titans for each individual team here, unfortunately, aren't quite able to make things work out. Sorry, just saw my stream dropped a bunch of frames. I don't exactly know what happened there, but, well, Arial Rise. I mean, what can you say other than that was just kind of crazy and dominant towards the end of things. It was neck and neck for the beginning of that, though. I mean, at what point it was tied 5-5, I believe. But that was just kind of the last of it. There wasn't really much else that was going the way of for Arial Arise, excuse me. So unfortunately, they will not improve their ESEA record, as they now go down to 3-1. But I mean, still, both teams were off to a really hot start. It just seemed that Third Impact were firing on all cylinders in pretty much every sort of fashion, and it will end up netting them the win, and a very dominant one at that. However, that's not the end of the Counter-Strike action tonight. We do have the debut of the new Polar Ace roster coming up against the Outliers, so don't miss that one. It should be live in about half an hour, probably a little bit less. I'd say 20 minutes. Don't go anywhere. There's more Counter-Strike action to come. My name is Ito, and it was an absolute honor to bring you this game, but there's more where that came from. We'll see you soon.